exactly 9 o'clock, and Lola and I to talk to you about LinkedIn. Yes, Lola. Yes, Lola. We're not going to bark today. So we'll give it a couple of minutes just to let some of our stragglers join in. And yeah, how's it going, everybody? How's everybody doing? Let me just enable comments here so I can see what everybody's saying. I've asked Kirsten to monitor some comments while we're busy with the session. And I'm going to be talking through LinkedIn specifically today because it seems to be the biggest challenge, which I think is really awesome because I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. So welcome to everybody who's joining us. We're going to be covering LinkedIn and a warm, sunny, good morning. I hope you are out of your pajamas, and I hope you are, morning Brett, hello Judy, and I hope that you have brushed your teeth. Hello Helen from Weinberg, yay. And Lola says hello, my faithful companion. Okay guys, so I think we can get started. I hope you have your coffee. I've got my hot lemon water here. Okay, so let's get started. Let's jump into LinkedIn. So I am a huge fan of LinkedIn. It's one of the only platforms, hi Samantha, one of the only platforms that really deals with business to business, B2B. So how many of you have got customers that are other businesses, or you have suppliers who are businesses? What I encourage you to do is to, I'm just going to draw a little table here. So take a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, or make a table in Word, and start to define what segments are. So I like to start with the very first column is going to be, let's name your customer segment. So my first customer segment is maybe my biggest customer group, and they might be, for example, if I'm selling, wooden, my biggest customers are the high net worth people who want big installations in their beautiful houses. So fantastic, I sell wooden decking, and so customer group I'm going to put down here as flooring, the outside decking for wealthy, high net worth individuals. But my second biggest customer group is going to be companies, McDonald's, KFC. They want my wooden decking to go outside their store. That's a business to business segment. So the very first segment's business to consumer, B2C, and that's a whole different ballgame when it comes to marketing to consumers. And that's where Facebook's really powerful, because a lot of people are on Facebook still in South Africa. So if you're marketing to customers that are consumers, ordinary people in the street, Facebook's got some really powerful audience settings, where you can really profile your audience in an amazing way. So what I suggest is that you take some time to identify your different customer layers, and then let's focus now on this business to business section. So now I'm selling wooden decking as an example, and so my customers that I'm going to target on are my businesses, because actually, let's be honest, businesses, their income's a little bit more stable. The buying cycle might be longer, but they usually have more money, and they're slightly less precious about how they spend it. Whereas, when you're marketing to consumers and individuals, then, obviously it's a whole different ball game. So we're going to focus now on the business to business section. So now if I'm trying to sell to the McDonald's buyer, procurement manager, my beautiful decking, because I want to deck the outside of all of their stores in the Western Cape, where am I going to find that person? So how am I going to get an introduction to them? One of the best ways is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, like every social media platform, works best for individuals and not for brands. So as brands and as companies, we've almost hopped onto the social media bandwagon and said, we also want to be here. This is where the fish are. We want to be here where the fish are. But actually, we don't belong on social media. Brands don't belong on social media because to a large extent, brands are trying to sell something, and social media is not sales media, it's social media. And so if you're trying to sell something, then really you need to just take out some ads, run some ads. That's what we covered at the last session. So if you need sales, run some ads. But if you want to create a long-term relationship, the content that you're putting out on social media has to really be very gentle. It has to answer questions. You have to educate people. It has to be you take a long-term view of your relationship with your customer when you're creating content. It's a marriage, it's not a one-night stand. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to create content that makes their lives easier, especially now in today's day and age. You can be creating content that helps them manage their lives, helps them feel better about things, and helps them manage their businesses. So now let's say in this example, I'm a decking company, and I'm trying to find business-to-business customers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating content on LinkedIn that is super helpful and informative. 6 ways to make your decking last longer. 9 ways to clad the outside of a building to modernize it cost effectively. 3 ways to 3 things to know before hiring your decking provider, that kind of thing. So if I'm a procurement manager and I'm sitting there and trying to just do my job, and I don't really know decking, but you and I are linked up together on LinkedIn, when I see that content coming out, I'm going to be like, I need to procure decking. Let me quickly read this. I'm just going to scan it very, very quickly. So I was chatting to Kirsten yesterday, and we're going to probably next week cover blog writing and article writing. I don't know how you feel about that, but so you're going to write this really, really great article, and me as your customer, I'm going to find that article and it's going to help me. So that's your job, is to really understand your customer. So part of this little table that you're going to create is you're going to say, okay, here's my customer type. Then I'm going to describe them. So the next column is I'm going to describe them. So something about them, what's their job title? How old are they? Are they male or female? Are they based in the Western Cape? Are they based in Polokwane? And then the next column you might say, what are their needs? So they need a reliable, cost-effective, trustworthy, reputable decking company. So that, if they spend the money, they don't want to have to go back again and again and again to do repairs, because that's going to make them look bad. They're obviously looking for lowest costs, but you might not be the lowest cost provider. You might be the top quality provider. And so you need to emphasize that message. Okay, then the next thing you might say is in your columns, you might say, what's the message to them? What am I communicating to them? What am I going to say to them? And then the next thing you might say, what are the products I'm going to sell? What are the products that they need? And the next thing you might say is, which channels are they on? And so this table really starts to form the basis of your marketing strategy, because at the end of the day, you can add on a column for things like, you might say, what blogs am I going to write for them? What video content am I going to create? Who are the influencers that they listen to that I'm going to work with? So this table, and if you pop me an email, I can send you just a template of this table. So you can actually spend some time filling it out, and it's even got some examples in it to give you an idea. Okay, so now you fill out your target marketing table, and you understand that I'm trying to reach other businesses, and the only platform for that is LinkedIn. So, or the best platform for that is LinkedIn. There are other platforms, but this is the largest one. So LinkedIn is really popular around the world. In South Africa, I find that a lot of companies and a lot of CEOs are not active on LinkedIn. And it's a huge opportunity for you as an individual to showcase your thought leadership. So now you have to wear 2 hats. You have to wear the hat that says, The first hat that you're wearing is as the company and the brand that you represent. So for that, you've got a company page. But the second hat that you're wearing is yourself as an expert. And for that, you've got a personal profile page. Okay, so the personal profile page is way more powerful and cooler and better than the company page. For some reason, your LinkedIn company page, it's not just your LinkedIn company page. Everybody's LinkedIn company page sucks. It's the absolute truth. There's nothing else to be done for it. I've yet to stumble upon a LinkedIn company page that I'm like, oh, wow, that's amazing. It looks incredible. Wow. What is it about LinkedIn company pages? They suck. They're really dry. But you know what really pops and is filled with zing is your personal LinkedIn profile. Your profile page, your individual page. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to open LinkedIn and I'm going to actually just dig around a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So the very first starting point for you as an individual is to spruce up your individual page. Okay, so your private personal profile page or your personal public profile page. So what you have to start separating out is a couple of things. Number one, there's the private you. So this cooks people's brains a little bit. There's the private you. There's you, walking your dog, playing with your kids, cooking, what you eat. That you is, you've got your own personal pages for that. And you've got your Facebook page, you've got your LinkedIn. That's the real you. And nobody really needs to know about that except for your friends and family, okay? But you have to determine now who is the public you, the public branded persona. And we've got a workbook that we can send you. So if you are interested, let me know and we can send you this personal branding workbook. And it's just something for you to sit and work through. Maybe now's a good time to work out what is your personal public persona about. Because once you've worked out what your personal brand is about, you can start to create your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you create a public professional persona on Instagram. Maybe you create one on even a Facebook page. So that's what I've done is I've actually created. So I've got all my private accounts with my friends and that, but then I've actually created professional accounts on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as a professional public persona. So once you decide what am I an expert in, what am I passionate about, and how am I going to position myself, that's where LinkedIn comes in. And then you craft this LinkedIn profile page to pitch that message. So you literally then just work out, okay, what am I talking about? This is my topic that I'm an expert in. And that's where LinkedIn is amazing. Your company page is fairly simple. Put up a nice banner picture and, put out whatever you're putting up on Facebook. Usually, your company Facebook will usually suffice on your LinkedIn. There shouldn't be too much of a difference. If you're putting great content out on Facebook, you could also put it out on LinkedIn if you've got a business-to-business message. So LinkedIn is really, I've got a whole bunch of slides on this and I've got like a whole talk. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go through the slides because it's just like, but I can literally spend about a day with you on LinkedIn because there's so much to go through. So believe me when I say that LinkedIn is really, really powerful, but you have to be clear on what you're talking about. And in order to be clear on what you're talking about, you have to be clear on who you're talking to. So let's have a look at LinkedIn. So I'm going to just flip the screen like that and excuse the wobbly hand. So let's hop onto LinkedIn. And there is Elon Musk. So if you have a look over here, this is the opening page. This is the home page of LinkedIn. So basically what's happened is I've clicked here and this is opened on my news feed. Same as Facebook, same as all the other platforms. Everybody that I'm connected to, I see their content. So if you're very exclusive on who you're connecting to, you're only going to see content that's very, very relevant to you. So, for example, here I'm seeing I'm seeing this content here on business coaching, and I'm not really into business coaching, so that's not really got anything to do with me. So I think the opportunity is for you to identify who do you want to connect to. And once you know who you want to connect to as an individual, you only accept those invitations. And here you can see Adrian Gore actually putting out some great content from Discovery, which is fantastic that we've got a company and some CEOs that are putting out content on LinkedIn. The question is, if I click through to their personal LinkedIn profiles, are they as active there? Okay, so that's basically all the people that I follow. So I've got some friends and some colleagues who are very specific about who they follow on LinkedIn, and they are very puritanical. So for example, exactly, Judy, what I'm about to say. I've got one contact who only follows, her name is Lauren Kinghorn. She only follows female entrepreneurs. She's got over 12,000 contacts who are only female entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. So she's actually the person to collaborate with if you are trying to reach female entrepreneurs on LinkedIn, because she's literally created that community. And she's actually created a group now on LinkedIn. So a fantastic, phenomenal strategy. I've got another ex-staff member who only connects to people that he has physically met. Me, I'm not so, I'm a little bit looser, and I tend to just let anybody in, which is not actually great, because it means that there's a lot of rubbish. And if you look at my messaging, I get a lot of spammy messages, people trying to sell me stuff. And so I think if I was a little bit more puritanical, and I think at some point I do need to clean up the people who are connected with me, which is actually an incredibly laborious process. LinkedIn has made it very difficult to unfollow people en masse. Okay, so let's have a look at the profile page. So this is basically your online CV. So anyone who's looking for a job, by the way, I need to tell you that this is the starting point. Make sure that you have created a professional page, and that whatever job you want to be found for, make sure that you've actually got a job role created for exactly that. So if I want to be found as a speaker, I need to have speaker in my title. I need to use all the keywords for speaker, female entrepreneur, if I want lots of speaking opportunities. I could actually mark that I'm open to jobs, and people could actually job hunt me. Okay, so here's your about section. So you might want to take some time to craft this. There's different ways of writing this. You could write this in the first person, or you could write this as in the third person. It just depends on what you feel like. Here I cover my different businesses. And yeah, there's lots of different ways of crafting this. And what I suggest you do is do some research and find the about section that really resonates with you, and use that as your template. And everyone in your company should have a very similar professionally crafted template for their about section. Here I've uploaded, you can upload some media. So here I've uploaded some video, you can upload articles, lots of different kinds of content if you've created it. Here you can see I've got nearly 12,000 followers. Whoop whoop. Bit of shrapnel in there. I need to be started to clean that up a little bit. But the thing to know is that let me just click on this. This is very important. Very, very, very important. There's a lot of posts that go out as my personal brand. So you can see that I'm creating a lot of content as a professional. Every time I give a talk, or nuggets and thought leadership pieces, that goes out on my plan, on my social media page. So you need to start, as part of it being a professional in the space that you're in, you want to set yourself up as a thought leader, because when people buy into you as a thought leader, no matter where you work, they will follow you and they will buy from you and they will support you. And maybe one day you decide to write a book. Maybe one day you decide to quit your job and go on the speaking circuit. Maybe one day you decide to give one-to-one coaching online from Bali. Whatever it is that you decide to do, if you've established yourself as a thought leader, this message is actually really appropriate, because a lot of South Africans are not comfortable selling themselves. They're really uncomfortable, and they actually think that, people will think they've got a big head. But it's actually quite the opposite. Everyone's been extremely supportive of me and my journey and my personal brand building, and I get very positive feedback. Sure, I also hear about some people, hating my content, but you're not for everybody. Not everyone is your customer. Not everyone's going to buy from you, and a hater is going to hate. So I've actually not had really bad, any bad experiences since I've started this journey. So this is exactly also a relevant message for you. So we create a lot of content that goes out in this format to establish me as a thought leader, and you can do the same. I mean, this you could create on Canva, which we mentioned at the last session. You can just create your own little content on Canva. Now, what I do as a little tip is that I write down any nugget that I might drop in a conversation. So anytime I'm giving a talk or I'm in a meeting, if I happen to drop a nugget or a wisdom, I will actually write it down and in the back of my journal, and then I'll just give it to somebody to quickly put it up on Canva, and boom, I've got a little nugget that goes out. So don't think you're going to remember that nugget tomorrow, because I don't know if it's just me, but that nugget, once it's gone, it's gone. So, but I want to show you something here very, very quickly. Articles. So articles are a super, super, super amazing way to be noticed on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn actually wants you to publish your blogs here first. Now, guys, are you all listening to me? Are you listening? Are you listening? This is possibly one of the biggest nuggets I can give you about LinkedIn, is the articles. So some of you feel hamstrung because you're like, I can't be a thought leader. I don't have a website. I don't know where I can publish my thought leadership pieces. So if you go here to your home feed, can you see over here it says write an article? So when you click on write an article, it actually gives you a blog spot, and you can format it nicely here. You can even put in these cute little quotes for your nugget, whatever your nugget is that you're dropping there. You can add a nice profile picture. And so once you've published this, you've actually then got a URL. So this then will live up on the interwebs. And what's really awesome is that you've now got a published post. So LinkedIn will give this published post more featured head space or eyeball space here on the news feed. So you'll get more organic views if you first publish your blog here inside write an article. And then also when people click on your profile, it's the featured image here under activity. These are the blogs that you have published on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn loves it when you create articles. And you can also even upload documents, which is very cool. Okay, so going back to the profile, take some time to just fill it out properly. Create a nice about section, load up any content that you might have. Make sure that you've connected to the company pages so you don't have this gray square here, and you actually have a nice professional looking image. So every place that you've worked previously, you need to connect to that company page, which is very simple. All you do is you click on that little pencil and it will help you connect to that page. So what I wanted to also just show you is that you can have multiple roles where you work. So I've got a couple of different job titles at Shift One. And they're all marked as to present, to present, to present. So the reason I've done this is because I want to rank for this title in LinkedIn. LinkedIn's also got an algorithm the same as Google, the same as Facebook. SEO, search engine optimization. There's LinkedIn algorithm optimization. So whatever your keywords are that you want to be found for, you need to make sure that you've got that in your actual content. So Marina, I see here you say, is LinkedIn worth it for local businesses selling and installing garage doors? Absolutely, because a lot of professionals are on LinkedIn who are in the business, are looking for garage doors for themselves personally, but who might be buying garage doors for companies. So if you revert back, and you might have missed out earlier when I was using the example of the decking, it's very, very similar. So business to business, if you're looking at, selling a lot of garage doors to maybe a company or corporates, potentially your buyers might be these guys who are, the storage companies. You might want to find storage companies. So let's move away from the profile. So the profile, the more effort and energy you put into your profile, the more it's going to return for you. You can get people to send recommendations, do recommendations for you, and you can join some groups. So let's say we are looking to sell some garage doors, and I want to find people who work at storage companies. Now, the second most incredible thing I can tell you about LinkedIn is the search functionality. Storage in, I want companies. So let's click enter. And I'm looking for companies. So right there, it's given me 113,000 companies who have got storage in their name. So what you can actually do with this LinkedIn search is you can set up a whole bunch of different filters for your search. So you can filter by, if you click here on all filters, you can filter by, I'm looking for people that I actually haven't connected with. So I've reached out to everyone that I've connected with. These are people that I don't know yet. Or maybe that I'm looking for a connection of somebody, and maybe I'm looking, definitely in South Africa or wherever it is that you're looking for. So now with the current day and age that we're living in, guys, South Africa is very, very perfect to sell. If you're selling services, you could very easily launch yourself into a global market. Our currency is favorable. You're now pretty much okay with working remotely. The whole world has become online and digitized. So face-to-face is no longer an advantage. So if I'm trying to pitch a company in New York as an agency, other local agencies don't necessarily have a competitive advantage over me anymore. So I might say, I'm looking for companies, I don't think I know them, and I'm looking for them in San Francisco, whatever the case might be. But look at this. I can actually specifically look at it. Let's say I'm trying to get into store age. I think that's how you spell it. Store age. Is that how you spell it? There we go. Storage. I'm trying to find people who work at storage. And I can say, which country, a whole bunch of different filter requirements. I can even look for specific names to find people. And once I apply these 3 filters, it was too specific. Let's go with so once I apply, still nothing. Maybe I spelled this name wrong. Let's just do this for the purposes of this example. It's going to come back with a whole bunch of people that I'm going to first connect with. And then I'm going to actually go and study them and look at their profiles in detail. Really get to understand who they are. And once I understand who they are, I might send them a message or reach out to them. But what is a really great thing to do on LinkedIn is to first start to build a relationship with them. So if they create content, you should like it, you should comment on it, you should maybe even share it. They need to start seeing that you are loyal to them, that you're a supporter of them. And once they've started to feel like you really get them, then I think then that's your opportunity to start reaching out to them. So Amanda's asking, what sort of people do I search for to help fill my small guest house? Now, this is a fantastic example. Let's say I'm looking for event managers. So I'm going to say here, get back to my filters. I want to look for event managers in South Africa because they might be anywhere in the world. So their job title is going to say something about event manager. So I go down here. So let's say the starting point is an event manager. That's the starting point. Did I have any other filters? No, that's all. So I'm looking for any event manager. So let's say you decide, Amanda, that you're going to connect with only event managers and people who are very specific to your, there we go. Oh, we're still on storage. How is this? Did I not clear all filters? Let's just clear all filters. Boom, boom, boom. South Africa. And let's go here to event. Let's just put it as event. Well, that must be... Why is it still saying storage? Is it just me? So, for example, let's just pretend this is working. Let's actually just get out of here because I really want this to work. That's what was overriding it. So let's just go here to all filters. Do that again. Go back here. Say event manager. And click apply. In South Africa, click apply. Okay, now it'll work. Nope. What the heck? Why is it not working? All right, well, let's pretend this is working. How is it still pulling through storage? Huh? There, see, it says storage up there. It hasn't cleared my filter. You know what I'm going to do? Let me just click. I really want this to work. So let's start this again. Okay, we're starting from scratch. Now I'm going to go to all filters. I'm going to say 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to say South Africa. And I'm going to say apply. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Amanda, now you can see here a whole bunch of event managers that the first thing you're going to do is start to connect with them. Boom, 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 boom. And you're going to go down here. And Roger, it's the same for you. So you have a niche wildlife travel image bank. You might be looking for graphic designers specifically in USA and Europe. So in your search filters, it's exactly the same. You would go graphic designers up here, and you would then specifically add in the European countries. So you can type that in there, and you would click apply. And then once you've got that, you've got then the starting point of your of the people that you are going to start connecting with. So your profile should be very, very purist, just the people that you want to connect with, because they're the ones that are going to see your content. So now that you've connected with them and they accept your invitation, once you're connected, they will start to see your content. So now you can start creating nice content. So remember, we go back to our little target market table here. And you're going, this is just like a pretend table, and you're going to basically be very clear. Target segment number 1 is event managers. Then you're going to say target segment number 2 might be graphic designers. Target segment number 3 might be procurement managers. Number 4 might be PAs to the CEO. Who books travel? So if you're going for a B2B strategy, this is the way to do it. And then you start messaging. This really works. I as a test in one of my courses, reached out to somebody using literally at the course. I reached out to them. I studied their profile a little bit, got an understanding of who they are, what is important to these people. The event managers specifically are extremely A-type people. They never make mistakes. They are extremely, professional. And so you need to understand that their need on your table is they need to create world-class events. And so if you then message this lady and you say to her, because you create world-class events that are extremely professional, we can guarantee that your delegates will have the same continued service and experience, and your event will go to the next level with our amazing guest house, that kind of thing. But the best thing you can do is, send her some cupcakes, or if she's in your area, try and pop through and see her so she gets a feel for your personality. You can even send her a video. Imagine you sent her a video saying, "Hi Diane, my name is Dylan. I'm from this guest house. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? This is what we're about." Walk her through the guest house and say, "I'd love you to pop in if you're in Cape Town, maybe stay over for a night or two." So I like video because it does create a personal relationship a lot quicker and faster than any other medium. So you can create a personalized video and send it to her. Okay, so that's the power of search. And once you start digging into somebody and really understanding their needs, please don't just bulk message. I can show you these horrible messages that I get from people all saying, really bad spelling and, trying to sell me stuff, usually stuff that I actually offer as a service myself. So if you're going to be messaging people, you've literally got, let's just see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Your first 4 words have to pop in a way that that's going to make me want to actually open your message. So if you're going to message me out the blue, I don't know what you're going to say that's going to actually catch my eye. So here someone says, "Ma'am, incorrectly spelled, you need sites." So what she's trying to do, she's trying to make sure that the very first thing I notice is what she's selling. So try and pop when you message these people, because if they're anything like me, they're getting hundreds of messages from people who are trying to sell them something. So offer them something for free. I think that's the main thing that stands out to me, is you want something from Elizabeth Crockett and Diane McGowan. You want something. You want them to buy from you, right? So you are the taker. So if you want to pop in this relationship, the first thing you could maybe do that's slightly different, well, dramatically different to everybody else, is you can offer them something for free. So if you're a videographer and you're a photographer, you're a graphic designer, why don't you say, "Let me do something for you for free. Let me help you in this time. And I'm going to give you a freebie this, or I'm going to give you that." And so they get a feeling for your brand, your professionalism, your excellence, and they actually don't feel like you want to just suck something out of them, drain them. Okay, I'm going to quickly then cover company pages. So if you click here on the me icon, you're going to be able to view your profile, and you're also going to see then any professional company pages that you own or that you're connected to, as well as your privacy settings, which you might want to actually spend some time digging around in, because there's some cool things. One of the things that everybody always asks me about is, how do they make sure that nobody can see they've been looking at their page? So in LinkedIn, everyone can see who's been looking at your page, and I can see you've been looking at my page. So you can actually deactivate that in your settings. If you go to privacy settings, you can actually switch that off, and then you won't be able to see who's been looking at your page, but they won't be able to see that you've been looking at their page. So if that's something that's important for you and you're busy doing a lot of digging, maybe you want to keep that private, I don't know, you can set that off, turn that off in your settings. Okay, so now the business profile. Here is the business profile. So you're going to set up a business profile here in your settings. You can also do job posts. Now, most of the people who are hiring and recruitment companies, they spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, and that's where they find their people, is on LinkedIn. So you can actually create job posts, and you can actually find employees here. But this is a company page that we've created, and so it's got some statistics. This is the admin view. We create some posts here. And like I said, this is not the greatest space in the world, this little long, narrow feed. You can see we don't have massive traction here. The traction that we have is really on the individual side. So this stuff, you can see it's really like, I don't know, there's not much engagement happening here. What I do suggest that you do, though, is that any content that you are posting here on your company page, ask your staff, create a WhatsApp group and ask your staff and your team to share the content, and also ask them to like, comment, and share. LinkedIn is like any other platform. The more like, comments, and shares on a post, the more it will show it to people in their home news feed organically. So LinkedIn's little algorithm says, oh, 2 people are engaging. Oh, there's 22 comments. Oh, there's 45 comments. Oh, there's 17 shares. There must be something great about this. Let me make sure more people see this post. But if the post is really dry and nobody's liking, commenting, and sharing it, what's going to happen is not going to show it to a lot of people, even your actual followers, the same as Facebook. So that's LinkedIn in a nutshell. There's some fun things you can do on LinkedIn. You can create different feature pages. So you can actually create multiple pages within LinkedIn. So basically, for example, let's say you've got 7 brands or 9 products, you can create featured pages here, almost like different tabbed settings. Where you can give those a little bit of air if you're interested in that. But yeah, like I said, this is your company page, and you're going to put pretty much what you're putting out on Facebook. You can share it here, and be helpful, be interesting. Try and keep it interesting, and yeah, just help make people's lives better. I think that's the most important thing. And then you can run some ads in LinkedIn. The LinkedIn ads are expensive, and so yeah. But they're not too difficult to set up. They're not quite as intuitive as Facebook ads, but they're a heck of a lot more expensive. So depending on what kind of ad you're setting up, it could be anything from 21 Rand a click to, 100 Rand a click, just depending on what type of ad you're setting up. So I'm not sure if that's covered everything that you need to know it's actually been 45 minutes. We try to do it in half an hour. But I think that's really the main things that you need to know. Just very quickly, last thing I'm going to tell you, you can click on my network. And basically here you can see all of the requests coming through. And hi Brett, there's your message. And so what I should be doing, which sometimes I just go click, 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 or accept all. I should actually only accept connections that are within my, see, this is someone trying to sell me something. So I'm just going to start ignoring and being a little bit more fussy. So yeah, so what I like though is LinkedIn starts to learn about the kind of people that you are connecting with. See, online marketer, a property CEO, an account director, communication specialist. So they're suggesting to me very specific kind of people based on the people that I've connected with. So if you were in shipping and trading or something like that, if there is such a, you would see a whole bunch of shipping people here. If you were in manufacturing, you would see a whole bunch of manufacturing people here. So the more people that you connect with, these are actually what LinkedIn is suggesting you connect with. So every day you've got, I can't remember, is it 100 people that you're allowed to connect with? So I could sit and go connect to 100 people, and then I've hit my cap. And I do suggest that you do that every morning. If you're a very specific person, you only want to connect with people that you know, every morning go and find the people that you know, your existing customers, your prospective customers, and connect with them. And then once you've hit the cap, then you can stop. But if you do that every single morning, then you will eventually be connected to pretty much everyone that you know, and they will see your content. So then the next thing is to start creating great content. So next week, I think what we're going to cover is blog writing, which for me is the starting point for great content. So we're going to cover blog writing, especially search engine optimized article writing. And that's going to be a really, really, really fun session. I must say it is a topic that is close to my heart, and I really hope to see you there. So guys, I hope you found this helpful. I hope it wasn't too much information, and I hope that you fall in love with LinkedIn, because I am a big fan of LinkedIn. As I said before, you can create an audience, really engaged people that are very specific to your industry, that love to see the content that you're creating, and potentially they are your customers, and potentially they're your next employers or employees. So you can create this little ecosystem and really just rock and shine and make some sales. So LinkedIn is a fabulous place to make sales, especially because that's where your customers are. Thank you guys. You've been amazing. It's been really fun. And we're going to save this session, and you can log into it anytime if there's something that you want to go back to. And I wish you a blessed and productive day. And I'll see you next week for blogging. Any other topics you want us to cover, write in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. and let me know if there's any other content that you want us to cover, and we can go into that in a bit of detail. So we've had a request for websites, how to make sure that you've got a great website landing page. We can cover that as well. So yeah, this is absolutely the space for you. Yes, Roger, you said YouTube. Unfortunately, we run out of time for YouTube. So what we can do is we'll put YouTube on the list, and we'll go to YouTube next time. Because yeah, we've run out of a bit of time now. But if we do blogging next week, we can do YouTube potentially the week after that. And actually, I created a podcast with a YouTuber called Danilo Acquisto. And I'll ask Kristen to get that podcast out, and then that pretty much is going to answer all the questions on YouTube, but we'll still have a session on YouTube. Thank you guys. You are so amazing, and I pray a blessing over your businesses. And I really just wish you all the best, and you're welcome to pop any questions through to us, and we will cover them for you. And thank you for subscribing to this group, and we wish you all the best. Have a lovely day. And Lola says goodbye. Here's Lola. Say goodbye. Lola learned a lot. Did you learn a lot? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Bye, guys. Keep well.